while I'm sharing the screen, I may not able to see the names. So appreciate Han Yong or James help me to admit whoever is in the lobby later lah. All right, if they
Sure,
come
sure.
in. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, share the screen. I will give you all this slide later. All right. Can you all see the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Previously in the email, I actually sent all of you this getting to know you. For those who have not done yet, appreciate you can fill in a small survey, so that our trainers will know more about you, right? Where you are working from and what will you want to learn from us, all right? So that we can better position ourselves, when we facilitate the course for you, all right? Okay. Okay, I see a lot of familiar names. This is a big cohort coming from various groups. All right. I just do a short intro. My name is Oliver. I'm a PCO course coordinator for this PDC. All right. And I will be the overall in charge of this course, uh, as well as also teaching one of the subject. All right. So later, I will introduce you to my team, to all of you, and then you have a better idea, who are the staff that's involved. Okay. And today, I also invite our colleague from the TP Library Services. All right. Later on, after my segment, he will share with you what the service, the library service provided for all the CT students. Why I want to arrange the library service to here, because some of the assignment need some research. And then I just want to let you know that TP Library is very good. You don't need to go anywhere, all right? A lot of resources are from there. So later on, my colleague will share with you how you access the library from your own home. You don't need to go to the library physically. Okay, you can just get it from your laptop. Okay, it's digitalized. Okay, so I'm going through these few things to all of you first. All right, talking about what is the aim and objective of the course, the structure, how we deliver the lesson. Okay, just talk a little bit about the ground rules about attendance, punctuality, and absence, assessment. Then I'll introduce you to our teaching team. Then lastly, I just want to share a little bit about CCS for Singaporean workforce. It might interest you. All right, it's quite good. All right, this website later I'll share with you. Okay, so I hope that you're at the correct course. Okay, this is a SDMT. Okay, we are specially designed this course for working adults, either in currently working ornamental or aquaculture farm, or you are keen in knowing the skills and the knowledge to maintain the care and the health in aquatic animals. All right, and we injected through technology as well as responsible aquaculture practices. Okay. This course actually have two PDC. This PDC that you are taking now, we are focusing on the red one, which is the concept of sustainability in aquaculture, ethical and environmentally responsible farm practices. All right. Okay, so this is the October intake, the structure. All right. So I just now mentioned that we have a different group of students joining us. All right. Of course, currently we do not have any full-time students from our day graduate. Our graduate daytime student who come in, they may join in sooner next year. Okay. But we have a new group of students who have completed their e-cert in urban aquaculture. All right. So they'll be joining us, all right, through this PDC in certificate in aquaculture farm management and sustainability. Now, we also have a group of students who have finished their PDC in aquatic animal health and nutrition. all right? And this is their last PDC before they get their specialist diploma, all right? So we have a mixture of different cohort coming together, okay? So those who first take the PDC in aquaculture farm management, after you completed this PDC, in the coming April next year, I will give you two choices. Either you want to take aquatic animal health and nutrition, or you want to take precision aquaculture and technology. Maybe I will spend a little bit of time towards the end of the semester. All right, then I will just brief to you all about the April intake lah, so that you can make a choice whether which PDC will you want to join. All right, either two you completed, you will get the SD also. Okay, so let's focus on this PDC in aquaculture farm management and sustainability. All right. Okay, so for this PDC, we provide you with the knowledge to manage and operate aquaculture farm according to the industry regulations. All right, and not only that, we want to let you understand about responsible and ethical practices. All right, when running a farm. Okay, and in the concept, all right, you will learn about the principle and the practices of sustainable aquaculture. We'll talk a little bit about responsible environmental stewardship, social responsibility. All right. And then in some of the case studies that we will provide to you, you will learn a little bit about industry ecological footprint, biodiversity conservations, and then the impacts on aquatic ecosystem. So basically, there's two subjects that you need to do. All right. The first one is 301. Okay, is aquaculture farm management and regulation. The short form is AQFMR. Now, this subject is a little bit special because if you completed one of the assessment, you were awarded a certificate called the Singapore Standard for Good Aquaculture Practice, SSGAP. So this certificate is endorsed by SFA, all right? So I will later share a little bit detail about this, all right? So you will get a cert, okay? Additional cert, SSGAP. The second one in 302 is Sustainable Aquaculture. The short form is SAS Aqua, right? This one will be run by Dr. James. Later, he also will share a little bit about the subject. Okay, how we're going to run the lesson? Okay, so especially for those who first time taking a CET course in TP, all right? Okay, let me slowly share with you how we're going to run. Okay, there's two types of lesson. Synchronous session and asynchronous session. Okay, synchronous session means live. All right, we go through MS Team. All right, so this is a time where we were doing a lot of collaborative learning and case study learning. Okay, in this session, all right, I want the participant to share your expertise, your insight, even your experience, all right? This to enrich perspective, to learn from one another. We will use group analysis or real-world case study to talk about, all right? And then we give a deeper understanding of the key subject topics. So this session, we want a lot of participation and active engagement. So it's not those type of lecture, you just sit back and listen. All right, it's a discussion session that we want you to talk and discuss, debate, all right, critique the point, the views, your opinion is certain incident, certain news that happen. All right, so we learn from one another. Okay, now the second one is asynchronous. SDL is self-directed learning, whereby there will be no trainer. Okay, you will be learning the materials yourself in a Polite. So Polite is a learning platform that is used for all poly and even ITE. So this Polite, right, I think you should have your username. You log in and then you click the subject that you're supposed to enroll, you enroll, and then you do your asynchronous SDL. All right. So there is a lot, there is some self-assessed quiz for you to do. All right. So normally, attendance is taken based on the quiz that you completed or certain tasks. So if your trainer see that you have finished the task, the trainer will mark you present. Okay. For the MS team, okay, will be mark your attendance using a QR code, which require use your SingPass. All right. The initiative because of this is because most of your, I think almost all of you, no, not all of you. This cost is actually SSG subsidized. All right. So you're actually paying a cheaper rate lah. So because of this, SSG regulated that it require your candidate SingPass, the student SingPass, to log in to clock the attendance. Anyone have any question regarding the lesson delivery? Okay, not I just move forward first. Okay, now there is two link already created, okay, which is the 301 and 302. Okay, let me know if you cannot access, and by right you should able to access. All right, so this is the link for you to enter. All right, to go for a synchronous lesson. All right, so those who already managed to go in, okay, because when this was created, okay, you actually automatically added in, okay, using your common polar ID lah, okay, your ID, okay, so you cannot use your Gmail or whatever mail to log into MS Team. You need to use the common polar ID that's provided to you. The polar ID is your student ID at I think tp.edu.sg. All right, I think so. That the common domain. All right, then you can go into the link that we created for you. Okay. Okay, as I mentioned, attendance taking using SingPass. All right. Asynchronous will be doing some short quiz, reflection, or some discussion. Okay. So we encourage you to gain the most out of it, 100% class attendance. All right. But for specialist diploma, okay, you have to satisfy a minimum 50% attendance. If not, you will not have a grade. Okay, you will only have a pass or fail. Okay, punctuality. We will actually on the MS team 15 minutes before the start time for you to enter. For those who come in early, can straight away scan your QR code lah. All right. If you're not able to attend certain lesson, maybe because of you have a business trip or you have a meeting to attend in your workplace or some family commitment, all right, or you are not feeling well, please apply the leave of absence or medical leave, all right, into your steps student portal, all right. Medical leave with the verified doctors, it will be approved lah. But any other personal reason may require approval from TSA. Okay, I want to let you know that our admin staff regarding the all administration, your fee, your payment, your bill, MC, all these things, please approach Miss Sarah. Okay, the email is there. All right. Regarding all this administration work. Okay. The trainer will be more focused on the teaching content, the assessment, the marking, the test, the exam assessment. All right. So I hope that y'all will get the queries correctly to the correct person. All right. So if you ask Sarah about the subject, okay, Miss Sarah will actually defer back to us. So we don't want to waste time lah. So you ask straight away the correct person. Okay, when we talk about assessment, all right, the poly require all students to assess their own work only, all right, and we want everyone to acknowledge your original source of work. So every assessment, you need to sign a declaration of originality, which is actually found in your subject guide, all right? And any instance of plagiarism, copy, or cheating, okay, will be subjected to disciplinary action. All right. Okay, regarding late submission, this one is very strict one. There's no bargain. All right. If the assignment will be penalized 20% if you actually submitted after the deadline. All right. If you submit more than, if you never submit and you submitted 6 or more working days after the deadline, you'll be given a 0 marks. All right. So please take note. And in the subject study guide, we already tell you all the deadline already. All right. So you have to get prepared. All right. Okay, some of the subject require a test for you to do. All right. So if you're not able to do the test or a written test, all right, you need to submit again your MC no later than 48 hours. Okay. Please also let the subject leader know so that we can prepare a special assessment for you. All right. Okay. If you are scheduled a special assessment because of an MC and you MC the second time, then we cannot schedule for you only. So we only schedule one time only for you. All right. Okay. Okay, so I want to introduce the teaching team. All right. So 301. Okay, I'm the subject leader. I also be teaching you part of the subject because I will be running with Dr. Sarah and Dr. Diana. Both of them are from AIC, Aquaculture Innovation Center. It's one of the research center in TP. All right. So why they're involved is because they are the certified trainer that can grant you SSGAP. All right. So in the second part of the subject, it will be run by Diana and Sarah. All right. So both of them are trainer endorsed by FFA, and then they will give you the training. Okay. 302 is Dr. James. All right. So he's a subject leader as well as your tutor, lecturer. Dr. Jim, want to show yourself to them?
Hello, that's me.
Okay. Very okay. Thank you, Dr. James. All right. Okay. So later on, Dr. James will brief you a little bit more about this subject. Okay, so this is the last part that I want to share with all of you because I find it's very good. Okay, this is the critical core skill profiling. So it's called CCS. So CCS actually have 16 competency across different skill clusters. All right. They name it under critical thinking, interactive with others, staying relevancy. All right. So this applies to almost all the working industry. Because based on your survey, I know that you're from different industry, but CCS is applicable to everyone. All right. So it's a free self-assessment diagnostic tool. All right. For you to assess yourself, uh, uh, to see whether your skill set, all right, against the Singaporean workforce competency. Right. So it's free, and then there's a few. It needs some time now for you to fill up all the answer, everything, and then it will generate a report for you. Your personalized TCS profile is free. All right. So this one is actually from IAL. Okay, Institute of Adult Learning. Okay, so it's one of the it's the only institute that educate adult learning All right. So they are the one that work with the SSG to run out this CCS So they share with me. So I think that it will be good also for our adult learners in TP, all right, to try out this CCS profiling. Okay. Later on, after this session, I will send you all this slide. All right. Okay, so that's my part ended. But later on, Dr. Jim and I will come back again to give a short briefing regarding our own subjects. Okay, so now I pass the time to Han Yong to share with you about our library services from TP.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Hold on while I share my slides. Yeah, I will be showing my browser as well. So I'll just share my entire screen. Yeah. Okay. Can everybody see my screen? My slides, I should say. Yeah. All right. Great. Thanks. All right. So yeah. Again, a very good evening. My name is Han Yong. I'm a librarian over at the TP Library. All right. So the purpose of this section of the briefing is to actually introduce you to some of the resources that the library has to support your research in your course, all right? Because as I understand it from Mr. Oliver, you would be required to do some research for this course. All right. Yeah. Before I go any further, these slides I'll be sharing with Mr. Oliver, so you don't need to take down any notes or anything. All right. So you can just maybe just try and pay attention if you can. All right. Before further ado, let me get started. Okay. Now, if you're visiting us at the TP Library on campus, all right, we actually have a facial recognition gantry. The library block is block 27. We're in the middle of the campus, all right. So if you are visiting us, right, there's a facial recognition gantry. You just need to look at the camera to gain access. All right. If the camera doesn't recognize you, it's all right. There will be staff on hand, and you can just signal to the staff that you need some assistance. Okay. Now, the opening hours, if you want to visit us physically, meaning the library building itself, okay, we do understand that you guys are busy as you guys are CET students. But if you do wish to visit us, we are open Mondays to Fridays, 8:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. And we are closed on Saturdays, Sundays, and public holidays. Yeah, so 8:30 to 8 p.m. All right. Yes. Okay. Let me move on. Oops. Yes. Let me just switch off my camera to save bandwidth. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So the agenda for today again is to show you guys where you can actually locate relevant resources related to your studies in aquaculture. Right. Now, before I go on any further, yeah, just to emphasize again, because many CET students have this question, you guys have the same privileges as full-time students. You guys are part-time students, yes, but you have the exact same privileges as the full-time students, including access to the databases, accessing journal articles, or in fact, even requesting for articles. All of this is available to you. All right, and I'll be covering those in a moment. All right. Yeah. So for today, I'll be trying to go through Singapore standards, where you can access our electronic books and our printed books or hard copy books, full text journal databases and newspaper articles, and our library guides, right? And if we have time, then maybe we will look at the SFA website, the Singapore Food Agency website, which is where you can find some information related to aquaculture related laws in Singapore. All right. Now, yeah, first I'm going to show you very quickly the Singapore standards. I'm sure, okay, in case anybody hasn't heard of a Singapore standard before, right? Standards, of course, are the agreed ways or the expert agreed ways of doing certain things, all right? Of course, you might have heard of British standards or American standards, but because in Singapore, we need to follow the Singapore standards, all right? So, right, there are Singapore standards related to aquaculture as well. Yeah. So let me show you very quickly, all right, where to actually find the Singapore standards, all right, from TP, all right. Now, this is the TP Library website, all right. You can, if you're not sure how to get here, you can just Google search for TP Library, all right, and it should be the first hit that appears, all right. So for Singapore standards, where do you find it? You can scroll down a bit further under specialist resources, right here. Or alternatively, of course, you can follow the link that's already in my slides or later when I pass it to Mr. Oliver. All right. So under specialist resources here, I'm just going to Control F for it. Oops. Okay, Singapore standards. There you go. Right. So I'm just going to show you very quickly how it's done. So when you follow the link, you'll be asked, you'll be prompted to select what kind of student you are. All right. So for you guys, it should be TP part-time students, all right? Now, I'm a staff, so I'm just going to follow this link here. All right, then it might ask you to choose your account. And if you haven't logged in already, you don't have a live session, you might be prompted to enter your TP username and password, right? All right, so this is the Singapore Standards Database. Of course, they will ask you to accept the terms and conditions of use, all right? Yeah, so I'm just going to skip that. Okay, so very quickly, this is how you can do it. So you can actually search for aquaculture or fish, right? You can just search like this, very simple. All right, then you can normally we recommend that you can search by title, all right, instead of text or standard number, right? So I'm going to search by title. All right, and there you go. So one thing to know about the Singapore standards is that they have okay, most of the standards are in English, but for certain standards they are also available in Chinese. So yeah, if you're interested, you can actually take a look at that. Okay, so for example, this particular standard here is a technical reference. So I think for the cold chain management of fish, it looks like. Yeah, so once you click on the link here, all right, cold chain management of frozen fish and seafood, all right. So you can see from the elevator bar here, this is actually the full thing, the full standard here, all right. So if you needed to refer to it for your studies or for your research, you can refer to the Singapore standards over here. Just one point to raise very quickly is that for Singapore standards, and this question actually comes up from time to time, is you cannot download the standard, all right? Because sometimes we have students asking us, okay, I've opened the standard, then how do I download it? How do I print it and all that? Right? Simple answer is you can't. So reason is because the standards are fairly expensive. So the publisher has put in certain restrictions. If you really need it, need to refer to a certain part of it, what we can suggest is you can take a screenshot of certain sections. But the system doesn't allow you to go and download the whole thing to your PC or even print the whole standard. Okay, the standards in hard copy format should also be also available in the TP library if you need it. Okay, yeah, but of course I'm showing you this the soft copy version by the database because I think normally it's much more convenient for the part-time students. Okay, yeah, let me go back to my slides. Okay, I'm just going to skip past this part. Okay, the next part I'd like to share with you guys is about the Poly Lip Search, right? Poly Lip Search is our federated search, or it's a system where you can actually find TP's books, right? Or TP libraries books and electronic books, and even books that we don't actually currently have related to aquaculture. All right, so this is how you can access the TP library website. Okay, this is the link here, right? We recommend that you use Chrome or Firefox to access the TP library catalog. Okay, so I'm going to show you very quickly here. All right, so this is the link. All right, so yeah, let me go back to the TP library website. Okay, this is Poly Lip Search. All right. Okay, in case you guys are wondering, it's called Poly Lip Search because actually you can search not just in the TP library catalog, you can actually search in the other libraries catalogs as well. It's one search that actually allows you to search for the holdings across the other 3 polys. Okay, if you guys are familiar, you might be wondering, okay, then what about Republic Poly? Okay, Republic Poly is not on board yet. We are still trying to convince them to come on board. But for right now, only these 4 polys are on board. Nanyang Poly, Ngee Ann Poly, Singapore Poly, and of course, Temasek Poly, which is where we are. Okay, so just going to show you one very simple search. All right, so I'm just going to search for aquaculture. Right, the default search scope is to search for everything. So the problem, well, not really a problem, but the slight drawback about searching for everything is that you can get a huge amount of results over here, right? So this is 520,000 results. Okay, nobody has the time to go through 520,000 results. All right, so normally what we recommend that you guys, students, or in fact when we talk to the staff or even the full-time students, we always recommend that you use the filters on the left to make your search a little bit more focused, right? So normally the very first filter that we suggest you guys look at is the publication date. So I'm just going to, because normally I think you will be interested in more recent publications. So I'm going to restrict the search to 2016 to 2025. Okay, it says 2025 because we have certain titles that are already scheduled to be published next year. Okay, 2025 isn't here, but yeah, we have some titles that are already scheduled to be published and they'll be added to our collection. Okay, so I'm going to refine the search here. Okay, and it's come down to 211,000, which is still a very big number. All right, but let's say if I would like to look at books for today. Okay, so you can actually further restrict it down. You can select under resource type and select books here. Right, it says books 58. So by right, the system should show me about 58 results here. So there you go. That's how you can actually find aquaculture related books via the PolyLib search. Okay, yeah. So for example here, let's say if you're looking through these hits, right, and if you think, all right, this particular title, you might think maybe you're interested to look at it, right? What you can do is you can just click on the link here, all right, then it will tell you, okay, it's available online, and further down it says here, it's available in full text via ebook Central Perpetual, all right? So this is actually an electronic book. Okay, the big advantage about electronic books is you don't need to go down to the library to grab it. Okay, you can actually access it online from your own laptop or device, right? So let me show you. So you just follow the link there. You might be prompted to log in one more time. Yeah, okay, no need to because I've already I have a live session. All right. So over here you can see seafood and aquaculture marketing handbook, and it says down here your institution has access to one copy of this book. Okay, so no need to do anything special already. There's one copy. If you wanted to, you can actually read it online. Right. So normally if for students they might want to actually browse it online first before they decide whether they want to actually go and download it or read it further. So the whole thing is already available here. All right. Now let's say if this particular title here, let's say if you are really interested in it and you want to have access to it even when you are offline. All right. You can do so by actually selecting to download the book. Right. If you choose to download the book, right, it will ask you what device you guys are using. I think in most cases, you guys would prefer to use your laptop now because of the size of the screen is much bigger, right? So in that case, you can just select laptop, right? It already recognizes that I'm using my laptop, right? Then you can select I'm using my PC. Okay. Now just a note that you need Adobe Digital Editions, right, in order to read the PDF of this book, right? Adobe Digital Editions is actually it's different from Adobe PDF Reader, but don't worry, it's actually free to download. Okay, so I'm not going to go ahead with this step, right? So I'm just going to select done with this step just to show you. All right, it will show you this book 416 pages long, 9.5 megabytes, right? Then you can select the load length that you want. Anything from 1 day to 7 days. All right. So the good thing about Adobe Digital Editions is that you don't need to worry about overdue fines or anything. Why? It's because the file that is downloaded to your PC after you select your loan period, right? The file will automatically become readable or non-open, or it can't be opened once the loan period has passed. All right, so you don't need to worry about not returning the book or anything, but you do need Adobe Digital Editions to read it offline. Okay, any questions so far? No? Okay, if not, let me go on. Okay, yes, okay, that's for the ebook, right? So let me go back to this search here and show you how to find printed books. All right, so just now I was at aquaculture. All right, now if you recall, I'm going to restrict by publication date again, 2016. Okay, so and then just now we were looking at books, right? Okay, but let's say you don't want to look at an electronic book, or let's say you still prefer a hard copy book. Yes, or honestly, myself, I also prefer the hard copy sometimes, especially sometimes staring at the screen hurts my eyes a lot. What you can do, right, if you want hard copy books, is that you can actually select under the availability here, you can select physical resources, just physical resources, all right? Then you apply the filter. Right, then you can see, right? So one publication date filter, one type filter, and I've also specified I want physical resources. So there you go. These are all hard copy books here. So this particular book here, Sustainable Aquaculture, if I follow the link here, it will tell me is available in the TP library on the open shelf at level 7, right? There's even more information here. It says here, level 7, row 85, right? And it was last scanned in 2024, all right? So level 7, and then you need to take down the shelf number. In this case, it's SH136 SUS.SU. All right, the good thing or the convenient thing about doing this is that when you actually reach this particular shelf, when you reach this particular section, there will be lots of other books on agriculture right next to it, or in the shelves right in the general area. So you can actually browse the shelves if you like and find more titles related to agriculture nearby, right? Right, so that's how you can get the printed book. Okay, now just now, if you recall, I also mentioned that even though you guys are part-time students, you also can request for books or resources, just like the full-time students, all right? So, for example, here, if you were searching for example, books, physical resources, right? Then you might actually notice here there's this book, Agriculture, Farming, Aquatic Animals and Plants, and it just says check for available services, all right? So, just to show you guys also, okay, agriculture, farming, aquatic animals and plants, right? So if you go on further, actually it says it's available in Ngee Ann Polytechnic. So that's not an issue, okay? If you guys think you need this book, if you think that you want to access this book, you can, right? So you can click on it. It says item on shelf and loanable, all right? Then you can actually request for the item. But it's a bit strange. By right, it should have a press link, like this. Like this book doesn't. Okay, maybe they've actually you should have a request link, but I didn't see it. Okay, never mind. Maybe let me show you something else instead. Okay, so I'm going to show you how you can request for journal articles instead. So agriculture here, all right. So if you scroll down further, right, you see, for example, yeah, this particular thing of this book here, for example. Yeah, so this is also the same thing. That's a bit strange. Let me try and show you one by resource sharing. Sorry, because I'm still in physical resources. Very sorry. Yeah, I think this is a good example. This article here, agriculture, externalities and policy options. All right. Yeah. So once you click on this link here, okay, this is a journal article in a published journal, an electronic journal, all right? So for example, if you thought you'd be interested in this here, right, you can actually sign in to check if there are any request options, all right? So when you click sign in, right, for you guys, you need to select TP part-time students, of course. Right, for myself, I'm a staff. I'm going to follow this link here. Right, again, it might ask you to confirm your account. Right, then you should see a resource sharing / document delivery link here. All right. So if you click on this here, it will, right, the system has already pre-filled everything in for you. Right, but if you're interested, you can just okay. The only thing you need to click is this. Tick is this, and then you can just send the request. So what happens when you do this is that it sends a request to our staff to actually purchase this article for you. Right. Okay. But when I say purchase, right, you don't need to pay for it. It's not free, but the TP library will absorb the cost for you, right? So no issue there. Anything you need, if you find an article interesting, you think that you need it for your studies, please go ahead and request for it, and the library will purchase it for you. Okay. Now, I'm not going to actually click on this link because this is the live system, and yeah, my colleagues will really think that I need this article. All right, but I'm not going to. So I'm not going to do that. Okay, yeah, now let me go back to my slide. So I've already covered poly lip search, all right? These are just stills of the screen captures of in case the system decided not to work today. All right. Now, just now I was mentioning about the physical books in the library, all right? So you may be wondering, all right, for physical books and all, then what are the borrowing privileges? So for students, in general, the open shelf collection, which is the collection I showed you guys just now, is the loan period is about 4 weeks, all right? And you can renew it up to 3 times, all right? So if nobody has placed a reservation, in other words, a request on the item, your loan will auto renew once you reach the due date. So maximum would be I think will be 4 weeks times 4 will be 16 weeks. That will be the absolute maximum. If it really reaches that limit, then of course you would need to return the book to the library. Okay. Now, if you want to see what is the latest borrowing privileges, you can just follow the QR code here. Okay. Right. And if you want to actually see what's on your library account, right, you can actually click on this sign in to my library account link here. That's on the TP Library main page that I showed you just now. And of course, you guys need to select that you guys are part-time students. Okay, you might need to, or you might want to sign into your library account to actually see what books you have loaned out to yourself. Yeah. And when you click on the link, normally you'll be asked to enter your polite ID, your polite password, and finally, of course, there's an option whether to stay signed in or not. Oh, yes. Okay, resource sharing, I've already covered that with you, so I won't go back into that. Okay, yeah, so that covers Poly Lip Search, right? So just now I mentioned Poly Lip Search again. That's where you can find the books, the electronic books, and also to request for resource sharing, right? So resource sharing again is to ask TP Library to purchase articles for you on your behalf. And again, it is completely free. Okay, free for you guys, not free for TP Library, right? But don't worry, if you need it, please go ahead. All right, so next I'm going to cover Progress Science Stack and Science Direct. Okay, now these are actually a little bit more technical. This is where you can find the journal and magazine articles. And these databases normally are quite popular or quite heavily used by the applied science students. Okay. Now, okay, for Progress Science Stack, again, you can go back to the TP Library main website, and you can select under Journal and Magazine Articles, right? Journal and Magazine Articles is actually circled here. All right, and of course, the first we're going to look at Progress Science Stack first, right? Okay, let me show you live. So again, just going to close all this. If you don't remember, you can just Google search for TP Library. All right, it's the first hit here. And then, yeah, just now I was mentioning the sign into my library account. There's the link. Okay, so this is where you can find our electronic resources. So journal and magazine articles is here. All right, and Progress Science Stack. Okay, let me see the search term again. Asia and aquaculture. Yep. Hold on a second now. Yes, okay, Asia and aquaculture. All right. Now, when you're using Progress Science Stack, right, just to note to you guys that it's already there's already a filter pre-applied that says that they only return the hits that are full text available. Okay, what this means is that when you actually hit enter here, or when you click on the search icon, the database will only return to you articles for which TP Library already has purchase access for. Okay, now the flip side, of course, is we did not purchase all the holdings of the Progress Science Stack database. Now, why? Very simple. Because cost constraints. We can't actually purchase everything in Progress Science Stack because science-related research is normally very expensive. That's the main thing. Okay, so Asia and aquaculture, I'm just going to search like that. Okay, so you can see here there's 29,000 or 30,000 results, which is again far too many. So again, same thing, we recommend that you try and restrict by publication date, right? So for example, when I wrote about the last 5 years, then it comes down to about 14,000 or so. If you want to actually cut it down a bit further, you can select peer-reviewed articles. But for today, maybe we won't go into that, just for demonstration purposes. Yeah. Okay, just one thing to note to you guys is that if you see this thing here, time cited 1 on Web of Science, this thing is a new addition to Progress Science Stack. What it's trying to tell you is that this particular journal article has been cited 1 time on Web of Science, which is a very, very big journal database. All right. So normally, if you see an article which has been cited many, many times on Web of Science, right, that would normally mean that the article is very impactful, because researchers across the world are actually referring to the article in some manner. Okay. Now, if you see a very high number, it either means the article is very important or very very nonsensical. But having said that, I think most of the time, if you see a high count of Web of Science, it is a good thing, meaning that the article can be considered very important or very influential. Okay, now, once you see an article that you think is interesting, you can actually click on the link here. Right there, you also, so this is a report of the 29th session of the Asia and the Pacific Agricultural Stats Commission, right? So if you think this thing is useful, right, you can actually click on the link here to download the PDF, and the whole thing will come down onto your PC, right? And Progress Science Tech is very kind, so they will actually also straight away suggest some articles that they think might be useful, interesting to you. Right, so for example, this one, strengthening ASEAN food security, right? So if you think that's useful, you can follow the link here, you can read it further, right? So, but this is Spanish, is it? Okay, but never mind, it does look like there's English here, also not an issue, right? So if you are interested in this one as well, you can simply download it. And this is very important. You need to check the publication date. This is published in 2024, so it's very current research, so it's not an issue. Okay, so these two things already downloaded already. So just to show you quickly, so this is the whole thing, right? Whole article. You can see from the elevator bar here, right? So that's how you can do very quick research in your from the comfort of your own home, right in front of your laptop, before actually going down to visit us or the TP library. Okay. Now, if you think that this thing is interesting or useful, all right, and you want to include it in your research, right, you please remember that you do need to cite the research that you're referring to. Okay, now if you're in Progress Science Tech, it's very simple. You can just click on the site link here. Right, you guys should be using APA 7th edition or APA 7th edition. So please make sure that you've selected the right citation style. Then you can copy this full citation and place it in your paper. Having said that, please remember to do your own manual checks just to make sure that the citation is correct. Because in our experience, we found that citation generators are never 100% accurate. Surely there are some errors here and there everywhere. Okay, yeah, that's Progress Science Tech. Okay, now let me move on. Okay, the next database I'm going to show you guys is Science Direct. Okay, so Science Direct, again, how to find it? You can go back to the e-resources, all right? Again, it's under journal and magazine articles. Science Direct is just a bit further down below. Okay, yeah. So I've mentioned Progress Science Tech, and now I'm talking about Science Direct. Okay, if you're doing your research, please, as far as possible, please try and make use of both databases and not either, and not just one or the other. All right. The reason is because as far as possible, in the TP library, we try and make sure that these databases subscribe to different journals. There's some overlap, but as far as possible, we try to make sure that these databases provide access to different journals, right? So in order to do better research, right, it's always better to try and get more or to consult more sources and include them into your research paper. Right, let me go back here. Right, so the search term is aquaculture and feed intake. So I'm just going to enter here aquaculture and feed intake. Oops. Now, just one thing to mention to you guys very quickly. You might have noticed that this feed intake, right? I've placed it in double quotation marks. This is something that's called I think some of you might already know. This is called a phrase search. So when I enter it in this way, I'm telling the system I only want articles which has these two words, feed intake, right next to each other. All right. So if the words are separated, you mean they appear far apart from each other, the system won't return it to me. Right. So I'm just going to search for this aquaculture and feed intake. So yes, so there you go. So that's the results as returned by Science Direct. Okay, about 7,767. Right. So for Science Direct, normally we recommend that straight away you can try and filter by the subscribed journals. So it come down to 6,000. All right. So for example, if you thought this article is interesting, if you think that it's useful, all right, you can click on the link here. All right. So you can see the the entire PDF. Yeah. Okay, so you can click on the view PDF link here, or you can read the thing in HTML format. Okay, the whole thing is available further below. Okay, now I've already oops, I thought I downloaded it. Okay, so for Science Direct, sorry, sometimes they might ask you to verify that you're a human. Okay, so there you go. This is the entire article in PDF format. Okay, right? Just a warning, although the articles on Science Direct can be tend to be a lot more technical compared to the articles on Postgrad Science Tech. No, it's not really a disadvantage, but it's something to just keep in mind. Okay. Now, one other thing to mention about Science Direct is that again, Science Direct is a very large database. And in fact, it's a very, very, very expensive database. So we really don't subscribe to everything in Science Direct. Okay. But if you think that there's an article that in here that you think will be useful to you, okay, for example, this one here, right? This article that you notice there's no view PDF link. Or if you think that this article is useful for you, you need it for your research, right? You can actually request that the library purchase it for you, right? How to do that? Right, you can go back to the TP library website, right? Then there is there's a request here, request for interlibrary loan. Could you edit it? Yes, there's a request for interlibrary loan over here. Yep, I think it's for staff. I really didn't put the. So give me a moment now. Sorry, here it is. It's not interlibrary loan, sorry. What you need to do if you need a particular article is you need to request for document delivery for students. So document delivery is just a request for the library to purchase the article on your behalf, right? So here we are. It's so once you reach this already, you can proceed to submit your request. You will come out in a form SG, all right? You need to put in your various details and of course the article name, okay? And most importantly, you need your lecturer support. Okay. If you and of course, in this case, probably your lecturer will be Mr. Oliver, right? So long as your lecturer supports your request, the library will purchase the article for you. Okay. And I think so long as the article can be considered to be relevant to your research, I don't think it would be a concern. Yeah, just for your info, science-related journal articles can cost about $15 per article, or also about 65 Singapore dollars in by today's exchange rates. So please don't buy the articles yourself. If you think you need them, please ask the library to purchase them for you. Okay, document delivery for students. That's how it's done. Okay, yeah. Let me go back to the slides again. All right, yeah, I've covered Science Direct already, so I will go back to that. Okay, one or two more resources to show you guys. Yeah, almost at 8 o'clock already. But just to for your info as well, I would like to show you NewsLink very quickly as well. Okay, so for NewsLink, right? NewsLink is actually a newspaper database that actually indexes Straits Times publications, right? So where to find NewsLink? You can actually scroll down here again, look under newspapers. Here we are, NewsLink. Okay, yeah, so once you follow the link, the NewsLink system will pop up, right? The default is a 2-year search, so it's showing me 2022 to 2024, right? Having said that, if you need to, you can actually adjust the date range, but the default is always 2 years, right? So for example, if I were to search for aquaculture, right, if you wanted to, you can actually select the advanced search and you can actually select the publications that you want, or Straits Times and so on and so forth. Right, but for today, I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm just going to search for agriculture. Right, so there you go. So that's, for example, if you think there's something interesting here, for example, a hobby to harvest blue acres journey in sustainable farming. If you think it's interesting, you want to read it further, right, you can actually just click on the link here, PDF link. It's quite big, 10 megabytes or 11 megabytes. And the article will appear here. Okay, yeah, yeah. So that's NewsLink. So if you needed to, again, you can actually restrict by the publication as well. Straits Times, for example. Normally, a lot of people would like to refer to the Straits Times. Okay. So let me go back to my slides again. Yes, this is how you access Newslink. Also, I won't go for I won't go back into that. Okay. Oh, sorry. One other thing I forgot to mention to you guys is that when you're accessing Newslink, right, to actually make it a bit more to make the results more relevant, right, we strongly recommend that you can choose to sort the results by relevance. Or the default is date descending, but normally we strongly suggest you can try to sort by relevance. Right? Then normally we will find that the results will become much more useful. Okay, so for example here, once I've sorted by relevance, the articles seem a lot better. So if you click on this link here, again, quite big. Yeah. If your PC is a bit slow, you might need to be a bit patient, because the article is very large. Yeah, doesn't seem to be opening. Okay, never mind. But yeah, I think you guys get the idea. Also, if you need to, you can actually just follow the link here. All right. Or if you just need to refer to the text, you can just click on the title and it will show you the text as well, the full text, but it won't show you the pictures. All right. You just see, yeah. Okay. It's finally come up now because the file is so large. So there you go. Okay. Yeah. Let me go back to my slides. Yeah. Okay. One or two last resources to show you before I wrap up. All right. In case you find that the stuff I've been sharing with you is very overwhelming, or if you can't remember some certain points, right? Please also consider referring to our LIP guides on veterinary studies, and also our LIP guide on APA citation stuff. All right. So if you want to refer to the the veterinary science LIP guide, this is the QR code here, or you can just follow this particular link here. All right. The advantage about referring to this LIP guides is that we actually, the library staff will actually provide links to the databases there in one particular easy to locate location, so that you don't actually need to search all over the shop to find the relevant resources for your studies. Okay. Now, the APA LIP guide, again, you guys need to cite your work when you do your assignments, or cite your sources, right? It's very, very, very important, right? The thing is, even though sometimes the databases might have automated citation generators, all right? Even so, again, the citation generators, we find they always have errors. So we will again strongly advise that you guys can actually manually check your citations. And again, nobody memorizes how to do citations, all right? So when you need to check your citations, please consider using the APA LIP guide. That's where you can actually take a look at how the APA citation style is formatted, how it should be, and what elements that should be present, right? Then from there, you can check whether the citation that has been generated by the citation generator, whether it's in order or not. Okay, yeah. Last thing to cover, I think, is the SFA website, all right? So SFA, Singapore Food Agency, this is, I'm sure you guys have already heard about it. It's the last time it used to be AVA and whatnot. It's all been combined together a few years ago, all right? If you need to refer to or if you need to refer to Singapore-related legislation with regard to food, right? The latest legislation would normally be captured under the Singapore Food Agency website here, normally under the legislation link. All right. If you need to, you can just follow this link here. All right. All the particular legislation will be listed there. Okay. Any questions so far? No? Okay. If not, let me move on. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we've covered a lot of things, right? And I do understand it can be a bit overwhelming. So if you do have any questions, right, please feel free to reach out to us at the library. All right. So you can actually drop us an email, all right, or you can fill out an e-form to just send us your query, right? It doesn't matter what it is. You might have a query about how to cite something, or you might want to know okay, this particular article, where can I find it? Or this particular book, how do I get a hold of it? All of that is fine. Or if you even need assistance with your assignments, okay, we won't write your assignment for you, but we can help you to find some resources for your assignment, or maybe to help you narrow it down a bit further. Okay, any or queries like that, please feel free to reach out to us. You can fill in the e-form here, all right? Or alternatively, you can scan the QR code here. All right? Any questions at all?
I think there's one question in the message box.
Sorry, let me just go back and see this message box. Is it possible to read Straits Times via Newslink without specific topic or subject? Okay, that's a good question, all right? Short answer, the short answer is no, all right? Because for Newslink, you do need to enter a search term, right? Now, having said that, if you just want to read the papers, all right, for example, if you want to read the recent papers, there is another way, all right? So you can go to newspapers again, you can go to Straits Times, okay, so this is another way of doing it. So you guys are CET students, you can just follow this link here. And this is normally quite popular with our staff as well. This by following this link here, you will actually reach the okay, this is the Straits Times website, but if you wanted to, you can click on the PDF link here, and you can actually, oops, let me close this tutorial. You can actually see the Straits Times, all right? The actual PDF of the Straits Times, if you just want to browse the paper, all right? But Newslink itself will not allow you to browse the paper like a virtual newspaper online, right? But you definitely need to enter a search term of some sort. Okay. Any other questions so far? No? Okay, if not, one last thing. Thanks very much for attention, right? So before I wrap up this session, can I trouble you guys to scan this QR code and submit some feedback on the library session so far, right? Thanks very much for your attention, and I wish you the best with your studies. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Maybe give a bit some time for you all to scan the thing. Hayong, maybe you want to also put the link in the message box, just in case later on they can click the link. This one, yeah, correct, yeah.
Sure, give me a second now, then I can release the screen.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to stop sharing and release the screen. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, I think for interest of time, we will just continue lah, so that we can end a bit early. All right, okay, thanks. Okay, because by right, they're supposed to have a short break lah. Are you okay without the break? Are you okay? Can we continue? If you're okay, maybe have some thumbs up or yeah, thanks. Okay. Okay, now I just want to share a little bit about this subject so that during our first lesson, we will dive straight into the content. All right, so we just quickly settle the things for the study guide. So this study guide is already in the Polite, so you can download it in the 301 subject site. Okay, so basically this subject is for CU, all right, 60 hours. We actually only have 4 topics here lah. Okay, the first topic is aquaculture regulation and legislation. All right, I think just now Han Yong have shown you some of the link already from SFA. Yeah, our content is actually from them lah. The second topic where we talk about biosecurity management strategies in aquaculture. Okay. And then the third one is implementation of sustainable and responsible aquaculture practices. And then the last topic was going to run by Dr. Sarah and Diana, okay, on compliance to SSGAP, which stands for the Singapore Standard for Good Aquaculture Practice. Now, just to let you know that 301 and 302, may look similar because the 302 is very more in-depth in sustainable aquaculture. All right. So for this case, it's much more on the management, okay, the regulatory. All right. Okay. So similar concept, similar context. All right, but we cover a little bit different. Okay. Okay. So this is a teaching plan. Yeah, I teach you how to read the teaching plan. So you will know where have lesson, where don't have lesson. Okay, we go by weeks. So this is week 1. So week 1, we have no lesson. All right, for MS team. That's why I want to hold this briefing so that you know what's going on. But do take note that the first self-directed learning has already started from today. All right. Now for self-directed learning, you only have 5 working days to complete the quiz or the assignment. So please don't wait until the 4th or the 5th day. All right. So if you are free, you can start. From just now, what I observed, for my subject, one person have completed. Congrats. I can't remember the name, but I think he has completed the self-directed learning. Okay. I think he got his own batch. Okay. So yeah. So present. All right. For 1.1. All right. Okay. Week 2. Okay. Again, there will be self-directed learning. So you will notice that every week they have self-directed learning. All right. For 301, self-directed learning always released on Monday. Every Monday. All right. And then our lesson is normally, okay, I said normally on Tuesday. All right. Okay. So week 2. So next week we will have our first resource session. All right, which is the MS team. Okay. The red one here is your assignment, which you need to submit. The deadline here. The specific date will be in the case study. Will be the assignment brief which we will release later. Okay. You will have one certification test. Okay. Okay, for topic 4, let me let you know. Topic 4 onwards, which is run by Dr. Sarah and Diana, you're required to come to the TP campus for the lesson. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5 lesson, you got to come. Why? Because this certification require face-to-face teaching. All right, it's a requirement from FFA. All right, so in order to get the regulatory requirement, we have to invite you to come down to TP campus for the 5 session. Okay, you will notice that 1 week you may have to come 2 times, 4.1 and 4.2. All right. At week 15, I will be the one that assess the test, all right, to you in TP campus. Okay. The test is all MCQ lah. All right, it's all MCQ, online MCQ, something like you take the driving license like that, the basic theory one. All right. I will share a little bit more about how the test is going to run, because I allow you to take multiple times till you get the cert. All right. But there is some rules so I will share with you a little bit more during our subject session. Okay, for the certification test. Okay, then after that, week 16, we don't disturb you. Please go and celebrate Chinese New Year with our family. For the non-Chinese, have a good 1 week break. Okay. Okay, week 17, you will need to do your presentation for a project. Then I'll tell you what is it. And then week 18, we'll start to submit your case study assignment 2. Okay. This subject will end a bit early at week 18. Okay. So the weightage for the cert is 25%. All right. So the details are here. Okay. It was stated here that in order to get the cert, you need to score 75% and above. Means it's upon 100 marks, you need to get 75 marks and above. All right, to get the cert. That's why I allow you to retake the test until you get the cert. All right. But the first attempt, you get the test, the score will be recorded as your CA. All right. Okay. For the case study assignment, which is individual, is 50%. But I'm splitting into 2 assignments, so that's 25 each. Okay, so you need to do some writing, all right, and you need to do some research, all right. That's why Han Yong share very important where you get your resources to write your research. Okay, because I think one of the assignment require you to find a case study in the library. All right, download the case study or the reading, and then you do some writing. Okay. Okay, this subject called Aquaculture Farm Management and Sustainability is exactly the same name as this PDC. Okay, which we call it the PDC project. What does it mean? It means that this project will contribute 20% for 301 and 302. All right. So it will be a group project. For my case here, all right, it's a group project. Okay. I think Dr. James one is individual. Later he will share a little bit more. Okay. For my case, it's a group project. You're going to do a presentation. All right. So I just share a little bit to you first to get ready. Is that this project require you to visit a farm, any farm in Singapore, right? We want you to talk to the farm, look at the operations, talk with the managers or the staff to get insight into the business, all right? What do you mean, all right? Because we want you to evaluate the farm operations, okay? Develop protocols, propose solution, all right, for management strategies, all right? So now you know, all right, you may later on need to take some time to survey what are the farm you wish to visit. If you're currently working in a farm or in the oceanarium, okay, you may do it in your own company. It's also okay. All right. Okay. So I will share a little bit more in the first lesson. Okay, class participation. Just now I mentioned that we want you to talk. All right. So we will try the best, to name the name, call you up to talk. All right. So that we want to know that you do some talking. All right. So that we can give you 5%. All right. That you actually have contribute knowledge building. Okay. In the class. Okay. All right. So I won't go any further. This all I went through just now the ground rules. Okay. You can have a deeper reading. All right. Of the study guide. Okay. You can connect us all through email or MST. Okay. This is the one that just I tell you about. You need to have the cover page. And this one, yes, the declaration of it. You need to have this thing as your first page of your assignment. Okay, but you need to sign. Okay. And this is for the group project. Yeah. All right. The name, what the group name, and then you need to sign. Okay. And lastly, it's about the AI. All right. We are okay for you to use AI. I repeat, we are okay for you, but can you please tell us what do you use for the AI for? We want to know the prompt that you give to the AI. Okay. Okay. We also want to make sure that please do not misuse the privilege of using AI, not just cut and paste everything, because the ChatGPT may not be accurate, right? Always take reference to the article or journal that just like Han Yong had mentioned to you, okay? Because they all are published work, which should be reputable, all right? Because we still don't know where ChatGPT get the idea from. It's from the pool of database we get from, all right? But you can use it to help you to rephrase your English, your sentences. Please do declare, all right? Any questions for 301?
There's one question in a comment.
Wait, I'll share first. Instead, can it be an organization instead of a farm? Example, Aquatica boat. Aqualita is a farm, right? Yeah, they have a small farm, right? In a container. Boat, yeah, can. Life science lab, they don't have a farm. I think it's more on research. So it may be very difficult for you to answer later on the project questions, because the project question is mainly on farm biosecurity, etc. So the context of that place, example, a lab, may not be appropriate. Oh, hi, Miss Valerie. Okay. Okay. Yes, indoor farm. Okay. Yes, can. Yeah, boat is an indoor farm. All right. Any question? All right, no question. We will invite Dr. James for 302.
Okay, I'm sharing my screen. This one. Okay, everyone can see the screen, right? Okay, zoom in a little bit. Let me know if you can't see clearly. So this is the second subject. Okay, let me know if you can't hear me clearly, yeah? Okay, AAC 0302, Sustainable Aquaculture. Okay, going through the study guide as well, so you can sort of get a rough idea on what this subject is about. Okay, as this subject has implied the title, Sustainable Aquaculture, so this subject is going to focus on looking at, for example, how what are the principles of sustainability that is relevant to the aquaculture. Okay, you are going to explore some of the basics of sustainability in aquaculture. For example, looking at the integration of environmental, social, and economic aspect of it. Okay, and then of course, you're going to cover these challenges and opportunities as well on how to achieve sustainable aquaculture. And we will also be looking at what are some of the innovation and technologies, as well as strategies to actually drive what is meant to be sustainable aquaculture. Okay, so we will focus a lot on what are the real life scenarios, okay, with respect to sustainable aquaculture. Okay, how we can sort of look at the concept of circular economy. Okay, some of you might already have some certain ideas of what circular economy are, but we're going to look at how this concept can be applied, okay, and assessed in to achieve a sustainable aquaculture. And the more exciting part as well is to look at the potential of innovation and technologies and even practices to how we can sort of not just understand but also improve the sustainable aquaculture production and management. Okay, and last but not least is really for you guys to be able to apply your critical thinking, okay, how you can sort of look into the lens of sustainable aquaculture, of its challenges and opportunities. Okay, so if you look at the intended learning outcomes, we have a total of 6 of them. The first one, okay, we are going to look at introduction to sustainable aquaculture, okay, more on the basics on the concepts of it, okay, from, for example, the approach of triple bottom lines, all the way to the importance of it and what are the benefits, okay, of sustainable aquaculture, more of an overall, like a general overview. And then on the second topic, we will take a closer look into the 3 aspects of the sustainable aquaculture, as mentioned earlier, environmental, social, as well as economic dimension. Okay, so we sort of like slowly ease into these 3 pillars of sustainable aquaculture. And then once you guys get to understand a little bit of that, then we will zoom into, okay, so what are the innovations and technologies that we should be looking at in terms of sustainable aquaculture? Okay, from, for example, touching a little bit on the precision farming, alternative feed sources. Okay, what are some of the strategies to leverage technology and the practices to, like, for example, minimize waste? How do we do that to reduce environmental footprint? Okay, blockchain technology, and so on and so forth. Okay, and after understanding some of the technologies, then we will look at how we can actually sort of assess sustainability in aquaculture, right? Because if you're aware, or if you're in a business, in whether you're operating farm or not, um, sustainability is part of it. And how do we actually sort of look at the computation, or how people actually, business measure the environmental and economic and social sustainability metric indicators, okay, the frameworks, the assessment tools. These are all park under the topic 4, evaluate sustainability in aquaculture. Okay, then in topic 5, we are going to zoom into looking at the applications of circularity principle in sustainable aquaculture. For example, what are the use of the aquaculture value chain analysis? Okay, how we can analyze carbon footprint. So we are going to look at some of the the basic and simple method to actually calculate carbon footprint under certain aquaculture condition to basically enhance the sustainability of it. Okay. And of course, we are also going to look at what are some other applications when it comes to sustainable aquaculture. For example, the very hot topic now, which is on novel food, such as cellular seafood. Okay, and the application of renewable energy in circular aquaculture. Okay, and others. Okay. Then last but not least, we are going to look at the challenges and opportunities in sustainable aquaculture, more on the broader view and real case scenario. Okay. Okay, so those were the topics. And next, let's have a look at the teaching plan for this subject. Okay, similar fashion as 301, just that every week you will have different topic that you should focus on. For this first week, if you guys have please take a chance to go into your Polite Mall to look at my announcement. Okay, do keep track of the announcement so that you are aware of what is going on, what you need to look up for that week, okay, to do for your assessment. So for example, in week 1, okay, there's no tutorial class on MS Team, but we do have asynchronous for this topic 1. Okay, the lectures are already released, and then on next week, then only we'll meet online, okay, for our PBL. Okay, so for this subject, okay, if you notice the teaching plan from tutorial 1 starting week 2 all the way to your last tutorial, which is tutorial 10, there are a total of 10 tutorials. 5 of them are actually going to be problem-based learning model, okay, which means there will be a lot of discussion among you guys, group project, how to do FILA, for example. Okay, all this will be briefed with you guys when we meet in our first tutorial session. Okay, which is on week 2 right here. Okay, so for this week, it's really on self-directed learning first. Okay, another important thing when you look at your schedule here is also to take note of your submission and deadlines as well. Okay, all are written here. So for example, when is the release of the projects? When is the release date of the PBL guideline? Okay, release of the assignments and so on and so forth. Okay, so for example, group presentation PPL will be on 12 December. What are the topics you should focus on? There will be a term test. Okay, when is the date? Where is it? And what topics you should cover? Okay, so on and so forth. And as mentioned earlier by Mr. Oliver, okay, there's going to be a farm excursion. Okay, not sure he has actually mentioned that, but we are going to have a farm excursion, okay, on the 18th January 2024, which is a Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Okay, so please make sure to mark this in your calendar, okay, and put it down, okay, block it. Okay, so yeah, so do go accordingly to look out for when is your tutorial and when you should need to complete your SDL. Okay. Otherwise, you can also check your step calendar, okay? All the dates that you're supposed to fulfill, whether it's SDL or tutorial, are all available there, okay? And in terms of assessment, okay, let's get into that. Okay, for this sustainable aquaculture, these are the assessment component. There will just be one term test, okay, 25%, and these are the description for it. Okay, there's going to be a problem-based learning group presentation. So this is group work. And of course, under this group presentation, 20% is divided into a few subcomponents. For example, your Q&A session, your presentation, as well as a FILA chart. Okay, again, your FILA chart and all this induction that's related to your PBL will be further explained when we first meet, okay, next week. Then, as Mr. Oliver mentioned as well, there's going to be this aquaculture farm management and sustainability project. Okay, basically, what I would call it a interdisciplinary sort of assignment. Okay, so when you do this one assignment, you actually fulfill 2 subjects. Okay, that is the gist of it. Okay, if you realize that, so if you complete this project, you actually fulfill 2 assessment components. So for 301, you're going to fulfill the group presentation for that. And as for 302, if you complete the project, you are able to complete the a report, individual report, okay, for that project. Okay, and that report is going to be 30%. Okay, and last but not least, you will have to analyze a scientific article that is related to sustainable aquaculture. Okay, and you will also need to write a report out of this. So this is where, you know, the library that you were briefed on just now will be very useful because it's related to the research assignment. Okay, based on the scientific concept through the readings of a scientific article. Okay, and of course, more guideline will be provided in time to come. So last but not least as well, we have class participation. As you guys know, we will be actively evaluate you on your participation in every tutorial, whether it's problem-based learning or it's just in-class discussion. All right. Yeah, so any questions so far for 302?
There's a question in the message box.
Right. Looking at Siu Kwong's question, are there standards being imposed on sustainability in aquaculture? For example, just like risk assessment, will there be a sustainability assessment? So I presume you are talking about in terms of the lecture content or more of assignment that you need to do for risk assessment. If you are referring to the lecture content that is it lecture content, Siu Kwong, that you're referring to?
No, I'm looking at it's a general question actually, because we are actually focusing a lot on sustainability in Singapore. So one of the reasons is because of the 17 UN Sustainability Development Goals, right?
Yeah, the Sustainable Development
will-
Goals, yes.
So will there be some sort of standard be imposed on aquaculture?
We will
It's a general question, nothing to do with the
okay.
topic of 302. I mean,
In general, you're asking if there's a risk assessment that's related to sustainability assessment, is it?
yeah.
Yes and no, depends on what you are looking at. Risk assessment basically applies in many applications and practices as well. There will be actually one of the topics that will touch on this. Yeah, so we can look into more details, especially when you talk about the Sustainable Development Goals. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Any other questions? Okay, if don't have, I will pass the time back to Mr. Oliver. Thank you.
All right, thank you, James. All right, I think, yeah, so we have done our 2 subject briefing to all of you, and also the library service. Later on, I'm going to send an email to all of you to give you the slides. All right, so you can refer to. All right, so most importantly, first, what I want you all to do for this week is please do your self-directed learning for 301 and 002. Type the quiz or any assignment that's given to you. Remember, you only have 5 working days. All right. Dr. James, the SDL for your one started on Wednesday, right?
Thursday, actually.
Thursday. All right. So the 5 working days was count from the day of the release. All right. Okay.
Oh, Wednesday. Yeah, you're right.
On Wednesday, Wednesday, right? Yeah,
My
okay,
bad,
okay,
yes.
Wednesday. Okay, so of course you won't see 302 yet lah. You have to wait for Wednesday. But the 301 is already out. Then the next thing I want you to do is please help us to do the survey again. All right, because we need to know more about you. All right, where you are from, so that Dr. James and I will know how to calibrate our lesson. All right. Okay, third, the last one is please make sure that you are able to enter to the MS team. All right, later in the slide, there's a link there. Please make sure you can enter. And we only allow polite common ID to enter. So remember, don't use your own Gmail or whatever Yahoo mail. Only have your common, your student ID at polite.edu.sg. All right, then you're allowed to enter. All right, because now, for example, we have seen quite some of your name, which is as stated as unverified. Okay, this could mean that you are not using the polite mail. All right, so you have to be careful to make sure they use a polite. So especially for those the new intake one, please make sure you do all your setting properly. All right, if you have anything that you have problems, all right, please again look for Miss Sarah from TSA. She will be assist you, all right, to do your account and all these things. Okay, any final questions?
Yeah, Mr. Oliver.
Yes.
Yeah, Huzaifah here.
Yeah, who's
Yeah. Hey, my work currently will be, because I realize that most of the classes are on Zoom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so sometimes I have to commit to my night shift. And sometimes I have to, for classes wise, I could not like commit any like class discussion 100% if I attend. I only can listen to the classes. Will it be fine with that?
Is it how often will this thing happen? Every
Yeah,
time?
so like maybe twice, twice a week, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Okay. If that day comes, you talk to the tutor privately lah. Then we will move from there lah. Yeah.
can. All right, thank you very
All
much.
right, thank you.
Bye.
Right, okay. Any other question? Oh, for Dr. James test, you have to go back to the school and take. Correct, huh? Dr. James test.
Yes, correct. The term test, you have
Yeah.
to come to
Come
TP,
back.
yeah?
Yeah, correct. Okay. So remember, for the 302, the only time you have to come back is the test. Okay.
Yeah, only that, just once.
Okay. Okay, if no questions, then I will first see you first. All right, mine is the next Tuesday. I will first see you first. Next Tuesday, 7 p.m. I will come in early lah. I will on about 6:45 for you to because we need some time to do the QR code. Especially some of you are quite new. All right, it takes some time because we're quite a big cohort. Yeah, we are 24 of you. All right, so must queue up and scan. All right, we will take a bit of time. All right. Okay, if no questions, then I think we will end today's session. All right. Thank you. Have a good